What's up? This is the Casket, home to the lamest taste. You can check me out on Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. All one word, the Casket. Some of you might be wondering, what's going on? Where have you been? There hasn't been videos. August and September were super rough for me. By the way, if you're curious what this video is, if you're watching this on YouTube or you're currently watching it on Twitch, which there's no viewers, so you're not. But if you're watching this as a playback or a VOD, or you're on YouTube, and this is sealed tight. Before I do my, I have to go back and do a bunch of comic reviews and pickups that I missed because I'm late on them. So I decided, while I bag and board the stuff that I'm behind on, I could, and this is taped together too, I could just stream a little bit and rant and talk about some stuff. Basically, last 2 months have been really rough on me, just between work being really sporadic. If you don't know, I am a union construction worker in New York City, which, while is the greatest job ever, and I love what I do, and I wouldn't trade it for the world, it is sometimes inconsistent. It sometimes isn't the greatest thing in the world, because sometimes you're out of work, or sometimes you just don't know. You work one day, you don't work the next day, you work the next day, you don't work after that, and if you don't know, I don't have the greatest mental health, like most people my age. I have some issues, where we work through, we go to therapy, we do the thing. So yeah, sometimes I get really depressed. So sometimes I don't get to make the videos that I plan on making because I get a little distracted fighting depression. And that happened. But on top of that, which that's a normal occurrence, I usually can get through that. If you don't know, I order my stuff on Amazon. I used to buy it in person, but now I order on Amazon. I get BCW. I use the resealable bags, and then I use the regular, I think this is what, modern or current boards. Unfortunately, I had a loss in the family in the middle of August that threw off my schedule, and then I was trying to get back on track. I went upstate for a concert with my wife, which was awesome, but that was like a whole weekend that was, couldn't do anything. And normally I make most of my videos on the weekends when I'm not working an overtime Saturday, or I'm just hoping I'm focused, because I can't tell. So yeah, I lost that weekend, and the weekend after, or 2 weekends after, whatever it was, I think it was like 2 concerts in a row. I went to see MCR at in Jersey at MetLife, which was crazy. Don't get me started on the MCR drama currently happening with Ticketmaster. And then I saw Blink upstate, and then the weekend after that, I left for Disney. And that's what a lot of this video is going to be, is me, Disney Universal. I spent a whole week, 7 nights, 8 days. I went away. I don't think technically 8 days. I was away for 8 days, but the last day I didn't do anything. We just traveled. So yeah, that's where I've been and why I haven't really been able to make videos. I did push a TikTok up. I have been doing some posts on Instagram, which I know I'm super behind on. I did finish, and I didn't get to do what I wanted to do because I was so busy. I did finish Way of Kings. I wanted to do a video on here every time I finished a part, but I think that's what I will do with this bad boy, which I'm only like 50 pages in, because again, I'm still like recovering for all the stuff that's been going on and being so busy and running around and just trying to, you get back from work, back from vacation, and there's drama and this and that, whatever. So we have a stack we're going to work on right now, which is stuff that I already reviewed last month, but if you watch that video, I ran out of bags and boards. So we're going to start with that. Yeah, so went to Disney and Universal. I do that annually. I don't think I've ever made a video about it. I try to go annually. This was our 3rd year in a row. We went 3 years in a row, 17, 18, 19, and then the pandemic happened, and then 2023, we went back, and we went last year, and we went this year, 2025. So we've done 6 years together of these trips. The first year was just Universal, and then ever since it has been a split. We used to stay on Universal property, and then last year was the first time staying on Disney property. We did that again this year. This year was different because we used a travel agent, which was cool. This person was really, really awesome, did a really good job. Lots of tips, lots of like really helped us organize stuff in a way that we've never been able to do. It's probably the most efficient, productive trip we've ever had. But yeah, I'm not talking about like us. I wanted to talk about Disney Universal. So we did, I think, 3 days technically at Universal. The rest was at Disney. Got there Sunday, went to Epcot, had dinner, did some rides, had some snacks, fireworks. Sick, right? We stayed at a hotel that was connected to the Skyliner, so that was a first experience for us. That was really cool and really convenient. And then, what else did we do? Monday was, we went to Epic Universe. So the week I went was the same week that incident happened with Stardust Racer. We were there 2 days before that. We went on it twice. I didn't think anything was wrong with it or anything like that, so I was very shocked 2 days later to find out all the stuff that went down, which is unfortunate, and my condolences to the family and everyone affected. But with that, besides, it was a really cool roller coaster with really great theming, especially that they included a flux capacitor on the back of the cars, which is really cool because Universal does not have a Back to the Future ride anymore. So yeah, Monday was all Universal, Epic Universe. The park feels, so yeah, I'll sidetrack right now. We'll focus on Monday. Monday was Epic Universe. Monday was a cool experience. Obviously, it opened this year. We've never gone. It was our first time going. Very excited. Got there. Kind of seemed very packed. We got there close to opening, which is what our plan was. And then when we went to pick up our stuff through Will Call, our tickets and everything, because we had other stuff from other days and parks and stuff, we went with the Express Pass, which was honestly overpriced in my opinion. The price is super and let me get this also started, is that the person that helped us was the nicest, most knowledgeable, honest, passionate person I've ever dealt with ever. So I don't think that they tried to rip us off. I just feel like the price is overly priced, and I have a theory on why, which I'll get to in a little bit. But basically, we did that, and thankfully, it was worth it because I don't think we would have been able to experience what we did if we didn't. We went on every ride. Stardust Racers twice. We went on every ride except one that didn't have an express line in How to Train Your Dragon, right? We didn't do the water ride either, but everything else we did. We got to do everything. We experienced tons of food. We went to tons of places. I really liked their new system where basically it's connected to, like, the express passes and everything are connected to a camera. So once you scan to get in, they scan your ticket or your express pass or whatever, it links to the camera. And then basically, as you walk up, you don't even have to scan anything anymore to get through express lines. They're basically seeing you, you're good, you're good, you're good. And I really thought that was really cool, and that was an awesome upgrade. Being able to scan tables and order food and then just bring it straight to you when you sit down in restaurants was really cool. The whole atmosphere of that entire park is amazing. I like the layout. I really enjoyed that beautiful hotel that's connected there. Lots of walking room, lots of places to find shade, lots of food, lots of bathrooms are super convenient. I like how walking into each world, they really created an atmosphere with those portals. And then now we get into specific things. I feel like obviously this felt rushed. Like the opening of this was clearly rushed because of the fact that besides Nintendo World, everything felt empty. Like massive, super detailed worlds, like sections of the park with one ride, one attraction, some food. You know, Harry Potter had an attraction and one ride, and that was it. And that place was massive, like huge. What else? So the other one that I thought was pretty fleshed out was also How to Train Your Dragon, Isles of Berk. I thought that was pretty well done as well, being that they had the water ride, one kids ride, one water ride, one big roller coaster, and one cool like ride. So they had like 4 rides in total, but obviously the water rides aren't accessible to everybody, and there was a kid ride. The carousel was just your normal carousel. It was fun. It was in the middle of the park. Stardust Racers isn't in a portal section of the park, but is part of the main attraction of Celestial Park. That was really sick, really cool. I really enjoyed that. But yeah, outside of the portals, there's only really one big ride and one small ride. Food and everything's everywhere. Dark Universe was the coolest atmospherically, had the coolest roller coaster or experiential roller coaster. With the Frankenstein ride, I thought that was great. It sets up this really cool narrative for the park, for that world. That hasn't been touched on. If you don't know, Dark Universe is based off of Universal Monster movies. They basically use that ride to create a brand new narrative of a brand new storyline involving Dr. Frankenstein's like granddaughter, and a mistake that unleashes all these creatures, including the creature from the Black Lagoon and Wolfman, all these other creatures out. And then you have the Wolfman ride, which was extremely short, but really interesting in how it was created, and the engineering behind it was one of the most unique things I've ever been on, but it was definitely way too short. The fact that there's nothing else in that park, in that world, ride-wise, is kind of crazy. No Invisible Man, no creature, none of that, right? No Bride of Frankenstein. I'm assuming there's going to be more. I know that they've teased other worlds coming. I'm assuming that also things there will expand. Yeah, so I touched on Isles of Berk, I touched on the main park, I touched on Dark Universe, and I love the Harry Potter ride, by the way. I do not like that, I guess, mid-construction, they shifted from it being really focused on Fantastic Beasts and back to the Harry Potter stuff. And while it is one of the only Harry Potter rides that really focuses post-movies, like the storyline is post-movie, untapped like narrative, which I'm assuming all the filming and voice lines and everything had to be new. It had to be, right? So that was really cool. I did really enjoy that. I thought the line and all the construction they did was incredible. I wish that that park was more focused on Fantastic Beasts, which is what we were originally teased to, but it's fine that it's not. I wish there was another ride, which there wasn't. I'm assuming they're going to flesh that out. Now into Nintendo World, which obviously this is the 3rd Nintendo World that they've done, so obviously it was going to be the most flushed out, and it was incredible. You have a kids ride with Yoshi, you have a basic roller coaster kind of thing, like regular indoor ride with the Mario Kart ride, which felt way more like a mini game in Mario Party than Mario Kart, but that is what it is. Then you go to Donkey Kong, which we started the park, the start of the day, we were told that it was going to be closed all day long, and then it opened. Line was crazy. Even with the Express Pass, we waited over 40 minutes, which was nuts, but it was awesome roller coaster. Really enjoyed the thematics, the storytelling, everything built in line to make your wait enjoyable, and that section of the park had the most interactiveness. Everywhere you work, there's an interactive like location. There's something to do. They took the idea of the magic wands and created those power bands, which we didn't get, which is really cool and I really enjoyed. like watching people do it, and I thought that was really cool because that place was packed. Not a drop of shade there. But everything was just so interactive, so well detailed. It was really cool. Tons of food, tons of stuff, really well fleshed out. And I'm hoping that the rest of the section of parts slowly become like that. Very fleshed out, very interactive, very fun. So then you move on. We did that day, went and got food at City Walk. Boom. We went to our Disney stuff. I'm not going to detail because none of that's new, but we had a great time. We did Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday at Disney, and we did all the different parks. We went on tons of rides. This is our first year using Memory Maker. I think it's definitely worth it. We used the meal plan. I'm kind of iffy on it. I feel like it does a good job, but at the same time, I don't know. We did Fantasmic. We did the Sci-Fi Dine-In package with that, which was awesome seats. It was really enjoyable. I had a great time. I think that's if you're doing the dining plan, I think that's a must. Yeah, and we had a great time. I think Memory Maker made it so much fun. If you don't know, I'm a big Donald Duck fan. I've reviewed Donald Duck stuff here. I have comics somewhere. I met 3 different Donalds. That was really sick. The 4th one I already met. I wish they would bring back Scrooge and Launchpad. But yeah, I have nothing specific to say on Disney as an experience. I thought it was great. I like staying there. It was cool. Going on, we did Horror Nights. This is my favorite Horror Nights at Universal we've done, and we've done 18, 19, 23, 24, and now 25. So this is our 5th Horror Nights. And I loved it. It was probably my favorite one yet. Obviously, I had a great time with the Wyatt 6 and Fallout. I didn't think they were necessarily scary. Alexa Bliss was actually at the night we did, which was insane. What else did we do? Yeah, there was a lot of cool ones. I really enjoyed Terrifier. We did all 10. We always get the Express Pass since our first year, which we had like we didn't get to do much, so we got to do the Express Pass. And we did, and we had a blast. We were able to, the food, the locations, the scare zones, everything's really cool. We got to go on a couple rides. Got food at Today Cafe after we got snacks. Really awesome. I really had a great time. I am a big proponent of Horror Nights, and I think every year they just make it better and better. I really enjoyed this year. So we did that, and then we really only had one day. We did early. We also did the bands, by the way. We went in at like 3:30, did some rides, whatever, got our wristbands to stay in the park, and then stayed on a standby line like half an hour before the the Horror Nights houses opened, which was something we've never done, and we took a tip and we did it, and it was awesome. That really allowed us before 6:30, which when it technically starts, right? I think certain houses start at 5:15, 5:30, 5:45, 6. Then really anyone that didn't have early access or like stuff like that, like that's when the bulk is it's fully open at 6:30 or by 6:30. By 6:30, we had done four houses, 2 rides, and it had a snack. So I had an absolute ball this year. Yeah, and then Friday was just a normal Universal. We did some stuff at Studios, and then we went to Islands of Adventure. And that was what we did. And then maybe I'll move this trash bag over here. So I hate these things. I love the resealable bags, but I hate that they just stick to everything. yeah, I had a blast. I always do. And yeah, so let's get into the meat and potatoes here of what I want to rant about. Obviously, I'm 20 minutes in because I'm doing this. And this is basically a stream. I don't even know if I'm going to post this on YouTube or not yet. Probably, because I have no interaction on here. I just want to get used to talking in front of a camera because I haven't done it in like 2 or 3 weeks. But yeah, I really, really, really love both these parks. Next year, I think we're going to do a split stay at 2 different hotels at 2 different parks, just to try it out and see if that works and makes our experience even better. But with the inclusion of Epic Universe, like I said, I know they've hinted about adding a wicked world, adding Zelda somehow, other stuff, right? I think each of those areas need to be more flushed out. Besides Isles of Berk and besides Nintendo World, I think the other 2 worlds need to get like a lot more added to them. I think that there needs to be more worlds. It just feels like we were going through the list of rides and my wife was like, that's it? We are like isn't there more? And there wasn't. But you're so overwhelmed by all the new stuff and all the stuff around you that you kind of don't even realize until you run out. I think this was a good idea. I just feel like there's things they could do, right? So in my opinion, right, I might get heat, who cares? Things you could do to further yourself from Disney and compete a little bit more than what they have in the past, especially with this new world, and you know they're going to amp up against you now. I would give up the Marvel stuff in Islands of Adventure. I'd give it up. I'd make a full partnership with Turner, right? I'd go HBO, I'd go Warner Brothers, I'd do the whole thing right now, right? Even, I know they had a cool turnout with WWE, I would squash that. I'd go back to working with AEW like you did where the old Fear Factor, you did some AEW stuff. I would go with AEW, I would go with HBO Max, maybe reach out with the Amazon stuff, and I would get DC. I would do DC there easily. I know they originally were going to, and then they backed out because at the time, I don't know why they did that. I think that was dumb. And I would do DC stuff, even if it's not Batman. There's so much stuff you could do, especially with them amping up with new stuff with James Gunn. I would do a bunch of DC stuff, Scooby-Doo. I would include AEW stuff. Like, I would use HBO. You could easily do Game of Thrones. I would team up with Amazon too, and you could do Wheel of Time, Lord of the Rings, Fallout. There's so much you could use from there that they're just not doing anything with. Horror Nights next year, I would love some classic stuff. I would love to see some Jaws stuff. I would love to see some Back to the Future stuff that we haven't seen, stuff that, like, old franchises that you got rid of that could be made scary. I would love to see. But yeah, that's it, I think. But Disney, I know there's stuff coming. I know that they have plans. And my only suggestion would be to utilize the 20th Century Studio stuff that you bought. You spent a lot of money to acquire that stuff from Fox, right? And obviously, watching Alien Earth right now, it is incredible that they haven't done anything, and I feel like Animal Kingdom is the perfect location to build, right? At Animal Kingdom, you already have Avatar, right? So you could easily use that as a way to build Oh my god, I hate these things. Planet of the Apes, right? Out of the safari aspect, out of Navi, whatever it is, you could easily build Planet of the Apes. Then Planet of the Apes into a Predator Vive, crash shipped alien. Right? And it just screams to me that you could easily have do that. Those three major franchises, especially because Universal threw out Terminator for no freaking reason. They didn't really have a ride. It was an experience. It was like a play. It was a show. It was cool. It was cool. Never should have gotten rid of Terminator, in my opinion. Now Disney has the rights to Alien, Predator, and Planet of the Apes. That sci-fi aspect of the 90s and prior. See, these things stick to me. I hate it. Oh my god, I'm getting everywhere. I hate these things. I hate these things. I hate these things. All right. Let me throw these out. I hate them. I hate them. I love the bags. I love the product. But yeah, that would be my main suggestion for Disney, is to build off of that stuff. I know they're reskinning some stuff. I know that they're reworking some existing things, but I would honestly find a way to involve these franchises that you guys own. The more adult-leaning franchises are what fans want. There's no Alien World. Imagine what you could do with that, with all the movies that we have, all the new show, the games. Marvel's pushing out comics. We need more Marvel at Disney. I know they can't technically, I think, through licensing in Florida. But I would easily add some stuff there because I personally think there should be an agreement. I think Universal step away, because that stuff's so outdated. It's dialed in at the 90s animated shows, and there's no X-Men. That's the problem. There's like a Wolverine statue, but there's no X-Men ride. Right? The Marvel 90s shows, which this stuff is based off of. The Spider-Man ride is good, even though Scream's in it and she's not in the show. The whole coaster makes sense, does its thing. I like it. It's fine. And Doom is cool. It's thematic. It goes with the. Each of those has a connected 90s animated show. No Iron Man. No weird Avengers show. By the way, that was a weird show. No X-Men, which was the second biggest animated show and the only one that's got a continuation on Disney Plus with X-Men 97. How many more do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, I still have to read this, right? Did I read this? I don't remember if I read this. I think I did. I'm gonna reread this. The new history of the DCU is an incredible read. All right, we're still going. I still have so much to do here. Yeah, so that would be my suggestion. I'm running completely out of things to talk about regarding to this, so maybe I'll change the topic. To maybe I'll talk about Brandon Sanderson. Yeah, so if you guys care, that's my opinion on how Disney and Disney World and Universal Orlando could change themselves to. I really think I'm out of focus. No, I'm in focus. What the heck? I really think that is what it is. I think like there's plenty of franchises that these people have access to that they're not utilizing, and if Universal wants to play off the stuff they're doing right now with Horror Nights, I would make a full deal with WWE. If not, do something else, because it seems like HBO would be the better partnership, and that's the wrestling company that's partnered with HBO right now. So that's kind of what I would do, but obviously I have no say. And as someone who does have a film degree too, technically, I think that the best thing they can do is start really relying on the film franchises that have built them in the past to build them up in the future, because nostalgia is more important than ever. You have an incredible Men in Black ride, and you could easily build off that with the later movies and adding more attractions. It seems like that area where Fear Factor used to be is just a dead man's paradise. Also, I'm assuming Disney's going to take back Simpsons soon. I don't know how long the license is for that ride in that world, which is a massive section of the park, by the way. Also, I don't know why they did a brand new, oh my god, DreamWorks. There's a kids related DreamWorks part of that park that just got revamped and redone, right? It's where ET is. That's the only thing that really doesn't really sit. I guess that's DreamWorks. But it's all mostly animated based. All that Owls of Berk stuff from How to Train Your Dragon could have easily gone there. I feel like letting the Nickelodeon Studio stuff slip away all those years ago was in poor taste. I think Fast and the Furious should get replaced with something, because it's not that good of a ride, and it's taking up a big chunk, a really nice, decent retail spot that could be for something way easier and way better. That Universal could easily, like, that's the problem with these things. There's so many brands and franchises that are underrepresented, represented or not represented at all, that could easily fill the spots here. Them teaming up with HBO and getting like Wheel of Time, Game of Thrones, like that would be so sick and would put a huge stomp, because there is no fantasy representation. Like, if you consider Avatar fantasy, which it's not, like, look how good book to film to theme park, it works. It's a great pipeline. Look at Harry Potter. People come to those parks just for Harry Potter, just for Hogwarts and the attached lands. I think that there needs to be some kind of transportation, by the way, between like Islands of Adventure and this one. Like, whether it be another line of the train or not, some kind of boat, some kind of system. There needs a trolley, the bus. Like, there needs to be something there, because those parks are way too far away. And going from Epic Universe to the main set, which is City Walk connected to two parks, and it's a very short bus ride to the water park, which is Volcano Bay, which is the greatest, by the way, the greatest. Yeah. All right, that's all I have to say. If you guys have any comments, get in the comments. Do your thing. I haven't checked on the Bills game since I started this with you guys. Where is it? All right, we're in the middle of the third quarter, and it's 21-10. They weren't playing it on CBS over here in New York, which is dog crap. You want me to rant? I'll rant. I'll make this whole thing just a Disney and extra rant. Extra being Buffalo Bills being underrepresented in New York State is goddamn criminal. I'm sorry. I respect you if you're a longstanding Jets or Giants fan, but if you were born like the late 90s or later, you do not get to be a Jets fan. Giants, I can understand, being that 2011 was a Super Bowl year for you guys and was incredible. You had Eli, you had the whole thing, awesome, right? Jets have sucked so long, and honestly, the best the Jets were in the last like whatever was with Rex Ryan, which is really funny, because Rex Ryan's a joke. But I can't. I was born and raised a Bills fan. Obviously, I don't live in that part of New York. And I know people are like, oh, it's not New York. It's not New York. It's not New York. It's upstate. It's not New York City. It's upstate. Da, 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 da. I'm like, okay, so if you live up geographically, Long Island and the boroughs, the 5 boroughs of New York City, Bronx, Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn, and Staten Island, Eastern Jersey, are located they're very small geographically when you look at the rest of the state. Once you go over those bridges, once you go up past Harlem, past into Westchester, that tons of land. There's no other sport besides football and hockey is the rest of the state represented. It's all New York City based teams. The Knicks, the Mets, the Yankees. Islanders are on Long Island, Rangers are there. Then you have Sabres upstate in Buffalo. You have Buffalo Bills. Giants and Jets play, practice, and do everything in Jersey. Joke. Nets, I don't consider a real team because they came from New Jersey to Brooklyn for no goddamn reason. It's stupid. They haven't done shit since they've been here. There's no reason to even claim them. Yeah, and besides that, no major league. Obviously, I'm not talking about the WNBA. I think they're great with the Liberty and whatever. But statistically, for the last 8 years, the Bills have been better than Jets and Giants. Historically, have beat them. Maybe the Jets win every once in a while. It's fine. I don't care. Championship-wise, playoff-wise, the whole 9 yards, better team, better franchise, represents New York, plays inside New York. I know they're not the New York Bills or the Buffalo Bills, but it's Buffalo, New York. And that's my rant. No hating on the Bills. Bills Super Bowl, hopefully. Let's go. Yeah, and that's my little rant. I don't think I respect you for sticking by your team if you live in New York and you are a Giants or Jets fan, but they don't care about you. They all those taxes from your ticket sales and the parking you pay when you go to see them goes to Jersey, does not benefit New York City, does not benefit New York State, nothing. You go to a Bills game, all the taxes you're paying, all the fees, all the stuff is going to the state that you live in, that is helping with the infrastructure and the pothole situation and the traveling and the stuff that in the state that you live. The point of giving back to these big things is to build local economy for the state that they represent, for the city that they represent. It's supposed to be, this team does well, this team builds morale, this team builds economic growth for where they represent. The Jets and Giants represent New York City and the metro area, but don't bring anything back to that area. They're benefiting Jersey. No offense to Jersey. I'm a big Kevin Smith fan. I love Jersey. Red Bank is sick. I like Atlantic City. It's just to have that NY on your logo, to represent it like it means something to you, to do it and you know, have the fan base be so ignorant about it and then slander a team that's better than you, that's representing your state better than they are, is annoying. Like right now, if they win this game, they're 4-0. What are, you know? Where's the standings button? Standings. I hit that. I go standings. Jets are 0-3. Giants are 0-3. Giants are currently winning against the Chargers, though. That's sick. That's awesome. Wow. They're gonna, if they beat the Chargers right now, it's 13-10 Giants. If they beat the Chargers right now, who are 3-0, an undefeated team about to lose to the 0-3 Giants. Insane. And I don't have a problem. Out of Jets and Giants, I'm definitely more of a Giants fan, being that I experienced that Super Bowl and I was really pumped about it. I liked Eli, and I really enjoy their head coach, being that he was the offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills for a several amount of years, where he had a partnership, well, not partnership, but like he had a lot of involvement with the early years of Josh Allen getting to be the player that he eventually became. And I really, really respect it. I respect the grind, because the Giants have had, in recent years, have had some good seasons. Have really, their division's hard, I feel like, right? If you go to standings, their division is Eagles, Commanders, Cowboys, Giants. And in the last couple, you look at just the historical standings of the last 10 years. The Eagles have been consistently, have had more good seasons than bad seasons. The Cowboys have had a couple outstanding seasons, and the Commanders in the last 2 or 3 years have been not that bad. It just sucks when you have a decent division with also one of the best consistent teams in the last 10 years. It's just hard to be an average team that's constantly in a rebuilding phase, because you can't get past that divisional level. You're just stuck there because of what's going on, and there's nothing they can do about it besides hopefully just get really, really good. But because you're never going to get there, you're never going to get to really, really good unless you just have an incredibly standout season where you win the division. Because building, you're never going to beat those 3 teams, right? Even when you get, oh yeah, next season's the year, we've really got a foundation here, next season's the year, we add a little bit. Oh my God, I haven't been doing it, have I? Nope. The office is going to be like, nope, get rid of them. And then you start from the ground up again. Do a couple 2 good years, get rid of them. It sucks. I hope the Giants win. I really do. I really wish they would just, I know they put the new kid in. What's his name? Dax? Yeah, Jay Dart. Okay. Jackson Dart, is that his name? Scatterboo's doing pretty good. Dude, why won't they put Winston in, dude? Jameis Winston is the GOAT. Like, it's so sad to me that a man that was like the #1 pick of his draft is getting so, like, not being given the chance to really work on a team with talent. Like, I don't know, dude. That's why I feel like the #1 pick is rigged. Like, they set you up to not be good, because the way the order of the picks work is about the team that did the worst gets the top pick. And unless someone trades a ton of shit, they don't give up the top pick. Then you end up going to a shitty team as the best player and getting your career ruined, in my opinion. And that could be false, you know, I could be wrong. But that is what it is. Alright, let me stop talking about fucking football for no reason. No one cares about football on my channel. Brandon Sanderson. So I finished the beat. I finished the Wave Kings. Incredible read. Very long, 1,000 pages. Knocked my socks off. The last like 200 pages of that book were insane. I had a blast though. I really enjoyed that. Spoilers. The way fucking I'm gonna do a review after I finish this. So I might do comic book review, then book review, then some movie reviews, and then tomorrow I'm off because I don't have work. Read this if you haven't. It's incredible. I might do more videos. I don't know if I'm gonna do laundry or videos tomorrow. But basically, spoilers, my favorite scene at the end was when Dalinar busts into the fucking room and the king, who is his nephew, he bitch slaps the fuck out of this kid, fucking fucks him up, rocks his shit, beats his fucking ass, fucking purple, throws this kid to the ground, says we're doing shit this way, I'm the fucking boss now. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm fucking your mom. Oh my god, I was fucking crying. I was like, this is amazing. And only like 2 chapters in to Words of Radiance, and already it just feels like just a direct continuation. We get to see that flashback perspective of the beginning of the book in this epilogue, which is prologue, whatever it's called, prologue. I really like that. We get to see Janasa's, whatever her fucking name is, her perspective of the night her dad's killed, because we've already seen it through the assassin's eyes. So now we got to see it through her eyes, which was a really cool thing to see. And I really enjoyed that, especially because we get to see like some more drama we didn't even know about yet. So that was really, really cool. And I really did appreciate that. I'm done finally getting these comics bagged and boarded. Let me throw this out and I'll finish my little rant. But yeah, I'll be right back. Yeah, it was a really, really good book. It was the start of this one that I just started was insane. Yeah, I'm just having a really good time with everything. So that's, half of the battle is just enjoying yourself. Okay, so these are the books that are done that need to go into my collection boxes. That's easy. And then I can just sort right now. Oh, the Saints score, that's not good. They didn't get the kick though, did they? No, they didn't get the kick. All right. Let's just organize this real quick. DC, image, that is Dynamite. Yeah, book so far, Words of Radiance is just as good, if not better, than the ending of Wave Kings. And I'm having a bloost with it. And this is what I do, guys. This is the rhyme and reason here is crazy. And that's image. All right, so let's do image first. How do we want to do? This is reviews, right? This is reviews. Okay, so okay, Whitney Black. No, okay. Radiant Black, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Rat City, Witchblade, X-Wing Corpses. Yeah, boom, like that. That's that stack. Then we go Dynamite, Thundercats, Lost, Silverhawk, Terminator, Duke Tales, boom, Boom Studios, Power Ranger Prime, and How Something's Killing the Children. Archie Kevin Smith, Marvel on top of DC, boom. And that's our stack that we're gonna review in a little bit. And this is everything that I picked up. So I need to just adjust this. Yeah. All right. So yeah, I just did almost an hour with you guys. I do have to make my short form content for YouTube now, which is what it is. I didn't really get any viewers, which sucks, but hopefully I can get back into actually streaming and ranting and playing games again. I figured out a way to do it on here. You saw a couple months ago when I first got the PS5, I figured all that out. I have the Switch 2. I did that on release day, by the way, if you want to check out that stream. It's on my YouTube channel, I believe. Yeah, I have a bunch of stuff I got to do right now. But yeah, if you have any opinions on Disney World, Universal, Brandon Sanderson, football, comics, let me know in the comments. You can reach out to me. You can check out my Instagram, my Twitch, my YouTube, my TikTok. All one word, The Vinyl Casket, home to the lamest taste, where you guys can check me out. You can follow, like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell, the whole 9 yards. Remember, guys, do me a massive favor and stay lame.